realized yield or holding period return. So whenever you're holding a security, it can be any security, your return on the security can come in two forms. Number one, it can come in the form of interest, or it can, okay, we are talking in the context of bonds, so let us focus only on bonds. So your return can be in the form of interest or coupon. Your return can also come in the form of capital gain. Assuming that the security that you are holding and you are earning in the form of coupon, as well as you are earning in the form of capital gain, and so the that is referred as your realized yield. That means what is the total return that you have got on that particular bond or on that particular security. So you call it as realized yield or you call it as holding period return. So remember, in your exam there can be a question as to what is realized yield, and they can give you many options. You will have to figure it out and answer as to what is the right answer, or they can ask you what is holding period return, and again the same thing. Holding period return means total of capital gain and interest received, total of profit and gain, different combinations they can give you. If your conceptual understanding is clear about it, I'm sure you would be able to straight away strike that capital gain plus interest received is equal to yield or holding period return. So how do you calculate the realized yield or holding period return? As you can see on the screen, it is capital gain plus interest received divided by your purchase price, the price at which you must have bought this particular bond, and that will give you your return. So you have an example here. An investor purchases a bond at rupees 900 with rupees 100 as coupon payment and sells it at 1000 rupees. So what is he gaining? He is gaining capital gain of 100 rupees, and he's also going to get coupon of 100 rupees. So 100 plus 100, 200 rupees divided by his purchase price, which is 900 rupees, into 100, and his realized yield or holding period return in that case becomes 22.22%. So this is how you will calculate your realized yield or holding period return. Friends, all that we are discussing, the questions that you get in the examination are structured on similar lines. So the examination that we have for the evaluation, the questions are more to test our conceptual understanding, conceptual clarity, and that is why. And there are very very minute things that we have in the context of valuation, and more so in the context of derivatives and in the context of fixed income securities. So we really need to be very very clear about small things, because if we are not very clear about these small things, and if we have a confusion about any of these things, now we would be thinking that what answer I am thinking is right, and you give that answer, but when you see the score sheet, your score sheet is showing much lower score than what you thought. And that is because somewhere the conceptual clarity, the conceptual understanding has been missing. I can tell you friends, not that I want to frighten you, but this exam, valuation exam, is much tougher than any of the exam that you must have written in your past, because there are people who have taken dozens of attempts and yet they have not succeeded. Why dozens? I know one case, he has taken 20 attempts and not yet cleared that exam. So you can understand the intensity of conceptual clarity that is required by this exam, and that is why you really have to be attentive to each and everything that you are reading or that you are listening from anyone. So that is your realized yield or holding period return. So before we go to the next slide, in case if you have a doubt, please ask me.